Hey everybody, it's Tuesday, May 10th, and this is Draftbit Office Hours. I'm Dave, and with me is Rahul, and we're gonna hang out for a while. Let's see who we got here. Rashid is in attendance, and looks like Oscar has registered but not here. So, as a reminder, if you have a question, you could put it in the ask a question section. Rashid, I guess that's mainly to you right now. That way we can keep track of it, the timestamp and all that good stuff. How you doing, Rahul?
I'm good. I'm good. Dave, how about you?
I'm doing well. How was your
You have a
weekend?
good week?
Yeah, it was all right.
Same here. Had a good time. I think it was Mother's Day, right? So kind of
Yes.
went out for dinner, treated my mom.
So y'all celebrate Mother's Day
Yeah, we do.
on the same American day, I guess. Hey, Rashid. That's cool. It's all, I mean,
Yeah,
it's always good to recognize moms. So
yeah. I think that's the excuse, right? Especially like moms do like so much for us. So I think it's good to kind of show them some affection by giving them one day out of the year. Oh,
definitely, at
Amit is
least
here too.
one day. Hey, Amit. All right. Okay. Well, looks like we don't have any questions yet. Um, I don't know. You got anything up your sleeve, Rahul? Not to put you on a spot, but
Oh, I think Rashid has a question now. uh, she'll be It'll be easier if you use the ask a question section so we can put them into chapters, and then once we respond back to your question on the community we can point you to the right chapter. Thank you.
just real quick, I'm looking over this post here about updating user data in Xano. And the last reply was, I tried to figure it out, couldn't. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, what specifically, Rashid, are you, where are you at now? Because I see like you were stuck and then you got unstuck a little bit, but it looks like maybe you're still stuck on something else or a new thing. So if you can give us some context. Hey, we got Ray joining us. Hey, Ray, good to see you.
Hey Ray. um,
If you have a question, Ray, throw it in the ask a question section. It's pretty quiet right now. So it looks like Rashid is just trying to update a user record
mhm.
from the back end. I mean, from his app, which is pretty straightforward, right, Rahul?
Yeah, it is. It really depends like what process do you want to follow. Do you want to like give all the information in one Xano API call? Like when you sign up, you can do all of that information there, or you can do it as you are doing, right? First create a user and then add the rest of the information to the user table by doing a subsequent API call. Um,
Thanks, Ray. I appreciate that. He says, this is my idea of quality TV. Don't have immediate questions. Glad to learn as you help others and manage the community questions. Awesome. We try to have fun, so happy to have you.
Definitely. Uh, so yeah, and like correct me if I'm wrong, Dave. Like I think you can do all of this in an initial call as well. or you can do it like with two separate crawls.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess he doesn't have to like submit the data on the first screen. Like, he could
Mhm.
collect the data and put it in a variable, and then on the first screen, go to the next screen, collect the additional information, and then on that screen, the button that like posts, just send it all up in one request. You could do that, or you could do something similar to like the onboarding flow, right? Where like your record has an onboarded Boolean field, right? And then you would register, and that would automatically be false by default. And then you would check in your app, have we completed that second screen step? If they haven't, show them that second screen, right? Have them fill out that information, post that as a put request, updating that user record, and then at the same time update that onboarded Boolean to say true, right? I mean, seems like that would work. Okay.
Okay.
I think, do we have something, Carl? We have like some stuff in community, right? Where we were walking Carl through some of that. I think
Mhm.
might be helpful for Rashid.
Right. So it was slightly probably different from Carl's issue because Carl like logged in a user, like sorry, signed up a user, and then when he logged in, that's when he was kind of checking if he's onboarded or not.
Right.
And as Rashid said, I think what you just mentioned, that's what he said. Yes, exactly. That's what he wants. And so if we can kind of, do you want to quickly show that? Because we don't have any other questions. We can probably do a quick demo of it and show what's happening.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, cool. Uh, so that was on like a little bit on the spot thing, but let's try it.
I'm
Just
going to read his question here. He put down how to update user data. So essentially, I am wanting to make a two-page sign-up screen. The first page will get an email and password and create a user with the auth token. Then the second screen will collect things like gender and updates the Xano backend with a new info. It's the second part that I'm stuck on.
okay.
So that second page. So we've got a basic registration page, and then we need to, after that registration page, then we need to show a second page, which is Rashid, are the gender fields and all that stuff, are they also on the user record, or are they in a different table in a different record? User record. Okay, well then that's super easy. So we just make a put request to that same user and update the record with the gender and whatever other info. It
Uh,
might be hard to spin this up pretty quick,
mhm.
but
I was sorry to cut you off there. Like,
no, go ahead.
uh, Rashid, if you want to join us, maybe we can do it in your app, so we don't have to do all that initial setup phase, and then just get it working for you live. Uh, if you're interested in joining us up here, we can do that.
That would be easier for sure. We can invite you if you want to come up. Let me know and I'll invite you. Just give me the word. I'll go ahead and invite you, and you can accept it if you want. All right, looks like Rashid is accepted and connecting.
Cool.
Me?
Saves me a bunch of work.
All right, there he is.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Doing good, doing good. Yeah, so I just wanted to basically, I know it might be a little hard just to get the explanation in, but like just to reiterate on it, it's just the first part, which is basically getting the information, signing them up, and like getting the authentication token. I followed Rahul video and like everything worked out on that. But then I was asking my girlfriend to critique it, and she was like, think it's a little bit cluttered. So like if you just collect the first information on the first page, and then on the second one, there's like a sign up kind of like create your profile that type thing. So like create a username for yourself, create a bio. You know what I mean? It just collects all those little mini information. So it doesn't feel too cluttered like you're just filling out a form. Um, so the first part was pretty good, which is the authentication, getting the email, and getting the password, getting the first name and last name. Cool. And then it's just the second part of like going to that same to the next screen and like not necessarily even signing them up, but like the next screen retains the information from the previous screen, like the email, the what you may call it, and then on the second screen they're going to think, oh, I'm already signed up, and then they're going to put their username in, and then it's when they click complete, that's when all that information is posted. It could take either form. So it could be they get created with the email and the first name, last name, and the email and the password, and then the first name and the back end, and the last name and the gender and all of that good stuff, and the username is empty on the Xano back end. But then in the second page, that's when they're required to okay, there's a boolean that checks. So do they have a username? Do they have all this required information? If they do, just send them to the home page. If they don't, then they can create one. That's what I was trying to get done. But it's the second part, just kind of integrating that kind of got me a little bit um, on the stuck side, basically. It
Sure.
makes sense, but I just
No,
don't know how to
I hear you.
kind of
I
express
mean,
it out, I guess.
I think the simplest way to go about it would be what
Yep.
Rahul suggested, which is
Mm-hmm.
don't submit it that first form. Just save that email, save the
Right.
password to like
Right.
a device variable, send
Right.
them over to the second screen, have them
Screen.
fill out that information, and then
Mm-hmm.
make one like create user basically. Like you'll create that user, and then just have pass all that data on. Um,
Right.
I mean, that way you don't have to add a new column to your database that's checking, like, have they completed that second step or anything like that. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's the way I would go personally, like, at least to start, see if that works out
Mm-hmm.
for you. It'd be easier to implement. So,
Oh yeah, no, yeah. That's one of my, either collect the information, then after everything's been created, just post all of that information, or create, user first, get the authentication token, then move on to the next screen and then update. But yes, I either way, it would be a solution in my opinion. So yeah.
so are you able, do you know how to make a, like a put request up to Xano? Or I guess if we're doing it this way, it would be hitting the registration route, right, Rahul?
Yeah, it would be the registration
Yeah,
route.
so
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
just add the additional data, right, that you're
Mm-hmm.
accepting
Mm-hmm.
on that endpoint.
Okay. So moving the data to the next screen, I think I saw the parameter one. Let me kind of open up. It's a little bit messy right now because
You
I'm
wouldn't
just
even need
being a
to
mad
use a
scientist.
navigation parameter. So I
Really?
think if you're talking, yeah, navigation parameter, you wouldn't need it because if you're storing like the email and the password on a device
Mm-hmm.
in a device variable,
Mm-hmm.
that device variable can be accessed from any page, right? Any screen in your app. So you don't have to pass it anywhere. It always lives like above your screens, if that makes sense. And any screen can go get
Oh.
that data, right? As long as
Mm-hmm.
it's a device or a app variable, then any screen can get to it. So you don't even have to
Oh, so
pass
it's
that
that
data.
app
It's
variable.
yeah,
Hmm.
so that app variable becomes your like source of truth. And so
Okay.
like you've got one single password and one single email. And
So how do I guess, in the app variable, the device variable, I'm seeing the name and then the value. The way that I've seen that is just that, well, I've used it to create like a list, basically, like a gender value of just like male and female, or like, date of birth and like stuff like that.
right.
How would I be able to like, I guess, translate that in there? Would I just, put the email as a key, and then the value shouldn't really be anything. It should just be, um,
They, you would create a variable named email, and it
okay.
could be empty by default.
Okay.
And then when the person enters in the information, it's going to update that variable, right? Whenever, if you assign the
Oh.
variable to the input, so
Okay.
you want to tell the email input
Mm-hmm.
you're associated with the email variable, and then every time that email
Okay.
input updates, every time you change it, it's going to update that variable.
Ah. Okay.
And then
Okay.
when you have an
That makes
API
sense now.
connection set up, okay, you're going to have an API
Yep.
connection set up, and you've got
Yep.
an action stack, and then you just
Right.
send that variable as the
Right
email
today.
for that API endpoint. So all the data
Okay.
that it's expecting, you just send all the variables to those slots, and then send it up. Does that
All
make
right.
sense?
See, yep. Yep. It does. It does. Yeah. I've used that variable. I just didn't know you could do it with that. I was thinking it's more the parameter thing because like I've seen it kind of. I just kind of just guessed it was probably going to be. I was going to play with it tonight, but yeah,
Okay.
definitely makes a lot more sense now. Yeah,
Okay, cool,
definitely
man.
makes a
Well,
lot more
good.
sense. All
Well,
right.
hit us up
Yeah.
in the community if you need more help or you got other questions. We're here for you. So,
Okay. For sure, guys. Thank you.
yeah,
Take it
man.
easy.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
All right, bye.
All right.
All right, cool. That was good.
Yeah, it's easier, right? When you like invite them and they can actually explain their questions like this, it's just easier for us to give a solution as well.
Definitely. How was that, Ray? Was that good TV? I was entertained. All right, let's see. No more questions. Awesome. Thanks, Ray. Another great episode in the can. Well, what's going on in community?
Yeah, let's have a look. Um, it's an audio component, margins and size not working. And I don't know why Oscar is not here, but he has like a similar question in terms of Superbase. But yeah, Oscar, maybe you can take a look at what we just discussed here and repeat the same thing for Superbase. Uh, One thing that I wanted to add to Rashid was like if you do the way that we just advised you to do, that saves you from creating another endpoint in Xano as well, where you would update the user information in the user table. Because otherwise, you would need to have another endpoint to update the user table with all the information that you collect on the second page. So that's also kind of out of the way. You don't have to do that anymore.
That's a very good point.
Um,
I haven't seen this audio component thing. I can publish my app without changing this. Audio component doesn't change anything. Margin and padding. I don't know that I've even played with the audio component. Have you done
to be
much with
honest,
it?
a little bit, like a long time ago. We can give it a try and see what's happening.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I think this is easier to kind of do live. So let's take a look. Let me just do the setup. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen. I'll try to keep it as quick as possible so that because I know Dave, you're very busy. So
Oh, it's all right.
you got this. Are you guys able to see the builder?
Yeah, you might want to zoom in a tad.
Oh yes, thank you for reminding me. Uh, Otherwise, it becomes bad TV for Ray, right?
hmm
Uh, okay, so let me just add a view, and then in my view, I want to add audio component. There
Yeah,
we
super
go.
widescreen is not a great fit for any live streaming. I agree, Ray.
Yeah, uh, definitely. So the audio component here it has padding, and I'm just wondering, but how would this padding actually work on an audio component?
Yeah, and like for the people watching, full disclosure, there's lots of places where you've got a margin and a padding option and it doesn't actually do anything.
Something is happening. Just gonna take a look at the web preview. Okay, so that's one
Does it
thing
show
that,
up the same? Can I see the QR code?
yeah, because we know like in the draft view, it acts a little bit different than how it would actually look in the previews.
Yeah.
That's a known kind of behavior that audio component has, because I don't think so it allows you to download anything that you are playing, right?
No, it's a very it's just a super basic, like almost uncustomizable audio component,
Mhm.
unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, it looks the same to me. I don't know that I see any padding. I would assume padding would fill in like the gray area. Can you add like a crazy amount of padding just to see if it does anything, like 100 or
Yeah.
something?
Yep.
By the
I
way,
believe.
also for those watching, like I almost always preview on an actual device. Like if you're intending to launch it on a phone, you know what I mean? Like preview it on the phone. It's super quick to update, and it'll give you a better idea of like what the end result will be. Yeah, React Native Web is full of lies. I'm not seeing any change for iOS. You've got Android, right, Rahul? Any change for you?
Nope, nothing on my.
So I don't like
I'm.
this is in my mind. This is not a bug. Just so everybody is
Yep.
clear, like this is a limitation of this implementation of the audio component. You know what I mean? Like we shouldn't have a margin and padding option there because it just doesn't apply. Like I don't think it was intended to apply. We should get a
Yep.
new audio component though, shouldn't we?
Right. So it looks like these, as they were saying, this is correct. Like it doesn't actually do anything. So these properties probably might not be valid for this component. That's on us. We should update those properties which are actually applicable for this. And like what I was trying to see is like if you can't do padding in here, what you can kind of do is do padding to the view, and I think that should work. So if I add,
Yes,
yeah,
that's a good point.
that works, right?
And
Because you're not kind
you
of,
could can you change the light gray color on that player? Is there like a prop in the configs panel to change the color of the player, like the background color? Because in that case, you could fill the same color in your surrounding view, add the padding to the view, and that would give you like simulated. So the background color, yeah, no, it doesn't do anything. Is there nothing in the config tab for audio?
let me,
No.
nope,
Okay.
nothing here. So this is as basic as you get.
Yeah, so you'd have to like match that color, that gray color, create a custom color with that gray and put it inside a view and put the view's background color the same as that gray of the player and then add the padding to the view that's wrapped
Exactly.
around the player.
And just I think we don't have that exact same color, but you can obviously get it, and that's what you're talking about, right, Dave? Like you can have
Yes.
a view and uh, do that stuff there. So if I add like a padding
Uh,
type of one,
Ray's asking, does Draftbit import Expo AV? Not like automatically, but if I think it's one of the packages that if you go to the custom functions and create a custom function, it's like built in. There's a checkbox for it, so you can just
yep,
turn it on, and it automatically imports it into your function. If I'm
that's
not
correct.
mistaken. Okay.
Yep.
Do you find it
So
there?
we have Expo Asset, Camera,
He's looking for
Clipboard,
AV. Do we have AV in
AV.
there? I thought we did, but we might not.
I think Expo Video kind of uses, yeah. So Expo Video comes from AV, right? So you can do that.
Yeah. So okay.
And
So Ray, where are you wanting to use Expo AV? I guess he's talking about a solution for like a workaround for the audio player.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, you can like
Yeah.
obviously you can do your own custom package.
Yeah. You
That
could.
should work.
You could build your own for sure.
You got a whole bunch of packages that you can just import here. Uh, I know there was another person asking me, what if they want to do their own user or different package which is not in this list and use that inside a custom function. Since I have these couple of minutes, I can kind of give you a very big picture overview. So for instance, I know there's this package that kind of works. So I go to npm, and this is not the right package. Let me just I've covered this in a video. Sorry, in one of our tutorials, in a written tutorial about moment. But I know this works in this use case, so I'm just showing you as an example. I'm not recommending you guys to use this um, as a package, but just wanted to show you how it kind of works. And now it says moment is his legacy project, now in maintenance mode. In most cases, you should choose a different
Yeah.
library.
Ray is saying
Right.
use Luxon. Luxon is what Moment now suggests, or it's like the new Moment. You can still use
Yeah.
Moment. It's just not being updated anymore. So
Right. And I also found another cool package that would let you do this. I think
there's
it's dates ago,
Day.js. Or there's
something
also
like
dates ago. Yeah, there's a bunch.
right. So I was not actually trying to demonstrate how to use like moment precisely. I just wanted to show you guys how you would use uh, like how you would import a package here and then
Do it.
use it in your custom function.
Yeah.
So you go to
You can.
packages.
Okay.
Just for this example, I'm just using moment. Or if you guys have another package that I should use,
No,
uh,
use Moment. It's fine. Yeah.
okay. So I do this. I save it. I can go to my custom component section, and then I can do. I think it's import. Is it like this? Moment. Um, moment. And then this. Just give me 1 second. I'll make sure that I'm doing this right by following my own tutorial. Uh, so right, so you got import moment from moment, which is basically without these brackets. And then my next step would be export this package. And to export, we use these curly braces. And now I'm using this. I can save this. That's all I need to do in my custom code component section. And then I go to my custom function. And then I can do something like, maybe I'll just show you how it actually works. So you get some sort of time. And then to call that function, all I can do is this. So we would need a custom code prefix and then whatever you're exporting. So we exported moment. I'll show that to you again. So we are exporting this moment, and then in our custom function, we are calling that moment from our custom code, which kind of lives in a different file. Your custom functions live on the screen itself. Your custom code component lives in a different place in your app. So now basically all I want to do is give it some sort of time, and just to make sure I'm giving it in the right format. I think it was Unix. Saving it here. Another cool feature that you guys might know or not know, you can hide stuff like this. I use this all of the time. And I'll just add a text component. I kind of want to do this. I'm going to give it an initial value of this. This is like nothing but time in Unix. And then what I want to do is my text component. I can go here, add show this variable. Just shows you this, and then I can do, and there you go. So it shows you 52 years ago, which kind of doesn't make too much sense right now, because it might be that this is the wrong format that I'm providing it, but you get the gist, right? So what's basically we are doing in this here is we want to use a imported npm package into our custom functions. One way is that how we showed before, that we have a set of libraries which are available in your custom functions. If you want to use your own package, you would just import it in your custom code component, then export it, and then in your function, you would just use this prefix to call that function and show that as it is.
Right. Anything you export from your custom code file, right, you can access from a function using the custom code, basically like constant that we provide for you. So it would be custom code dot whatever it is that you're exporting. So you can export a value or a function or a package or whatever you need.
Exactly. Any other questions about this?
I think you covered it pretty well.
All right. All right, I'll stop sharing if there are no other questions.
Cool. All right. Well, not much unanswered on the community. Okay, well, I guess if there's no more questions, we'll start wrapping up. So anybody who's here, Rashid, Ray, if y'all have anything specific, now's your chance. Ray says the point isn't to only do unanswered questions. Answering interesting questions on video creates a video asset for you. It doesn't need to be today, but worth considering for next time. Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes we take this opportunity to demo new stuff, or like sometimes I'll walk through like building some piece of a UI, or so it just depends on if we have time or like what's going on. Sometimes we have more questions than others. Just depends. So yeah, it's definitely good. We try to take advantage of that. All right, dude. You ready to go or what?
Yeah, it looks like you're done for today. See you guys
You look
next
like
week.
it's bedtime. Your eyes are getting all glossy.
Yeah, man, it's been a while, right? This is like my end of the day. My wedding contacts kind of also does that, so I'm not crying
Yeah.
anymore.
All right, man. Well, thanks everybody for joining. Good to see everybody. Thanks Rahul for being here, and we'll see you next Tuesday. And George will be here on Thursday, same time.